Today is going to be an interesting day because we're going to talk about something as usual that some people don't want to, confront, that all of us actually need to look into and tell ourselves the truth. So now let's get into it. You know, the truth is that your life is not moving in the direction of your wishes. It's actually moving in the direction of your mindset. Clock that. So note that most battle. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Glow into the Week. Achieve what you do not first believe in. You have to believe first before you can achieve anything in life. True. If your mind tells you that, oh, that level I want to get to is too high for me, my dear, it is true. So it's like network is bad. Network is a liar. Devil is a liar. Yeah. Devil is a liar. We are gonna do this. So hold on a few minutes. Let me check. Can you hear me now? Oh my god. And yes, we are back. Can you hear me now? Oh my god, network. Oh my god, I'm trying to change my network and it is glitching. I guess you can hear me now. Thank you for joining me and thank you for the patience. Yes, I have been able to change my network. Devil's a liar. You must get this message, honestly. You must hear this message I have for you. Yes or yes. You must hear the message I have for you. Yes or yes. Yes. And we are back. Devil is a liar, right? Okay, so where were we? Now let's get back. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for letting me know it wasn't going. Okay, so I was saying you cannot achieve what you do not first believe in. If your mind says, I'm not good enough, then you're not good enough. If your mind says, I cannot do this thing, then you cannot do it. If your mind believes that the level that you want to attain is too high for you, then you will not attain it. As simple as that. Your actions will always follow the beliefs that you have in your head, consciously or unconsciously. Because sometimes we actually think we have some beliefs, yet unconsciously we sabotage ourselves. We still have another belief that is contrary to what we want to believe we believe. Does that make sense? So the truth is that your current life actually reflects your thinking. The way your life is today is a reflection of your thought patterns in the past, what you believe, your mindset over the years. So you are currently living what you allowed yourself to believe, what you allowed to shape your life. That is your reality right now. If you have the belief that money is hard to come by, everything is hard, things are going to be hard. As simple as that. If you have the belief that relationships are bad, men are scum, you'll be seeing people that are bad. Men are scum, people will be coming to you. Your thoughts influence the way you show up. You're confident. If you believe I'm not confident, you're not going to be confident. I can never be like this person. You're not going to get there. I'm never going to have a good relationship. You're going to be having bad relationships. Nothing good happens in my life. nothing good will happen in your life. As simple as that. Some of us don't think and understand how deep your mind can, control everything. But even in the Bible, they tell us that power of life and death is in our mouth. And then we need to, transform ourselves by renewing our mind. So that is something key, something that we need to, think about deeply, so that whenever those thoughts come to your mind, you have an alter thought that can, move you away from the horrible thoughts that have been shaping your life. So if you want to change where you are now, you have to go back and identify those thoughts that have gotten you to where you are and start to consciously change them. So the truth is that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So even the Bible says we should think on these. Why is there so much emphasis on what happens in your head? Why? Because it has an effect on your whole life. Now, you cannot walk confidently if your mind believes that you are small. That's just the truth. You cannot show up, you cannot do anything, you can't achieve anything if your mind thinks you're small. Confidence begins inside before it actually shows, externally. So I want you to note that your mindset determines how you walk into a room. Whether you believe you're supposed to be there or not, it determines how you speak, how you engage with people. Sometimes you'll be in a place and be like, oh, I shouldn't be talking to this person. Or you're even overreacting because you feel like, oh, I need to show that I'm supposed to be in this place. And you're now overdoing. You're maybe now rude, now arrogant. So it shows up in different ways. You trying to prove that you're in a room. Your mindset determines, how you speak, how you carry yourself, and what opportunities that you pursue. Sometimes you're going to lose opportunities just because you believe that you can never get it. So you not even try. I tell people something. The highest thing you're going to get is a no. Ask. Have the courage to move, and that thing that you think is impossible, go and decide to get it. What can go wrong? Honestly, does no kill anybody? No. So why are you afraid to ask? That's what I tell myself. So what is the worst thing the person can tell you? What's the worst thing that can happen? It goes the other way. Did you die? So because you feel like opportunity should come your way, you're even afraid to go and, pursue them. The truth is that even fear starts in our mind. So many limitations that we have are mental before they actually appear physically. Fear grows, when our thoughts are negative. Sometimes we worry about things that have not yet happened. You say, oh, I don't want to go out. What if a car hits me? What if a car doesn't hit you? How many people do cars hit? Oh, what if I buy a fine car, thieves will attack me? They have not attacked you. But in your mind, you have already called them to you by, having negative thoughts. Your fear makes your mind to be indisciplined because you just imagine things everywhere and it stops you from doing things you're supposed to do. Sometimes if you ask yourself some things that you've really thought about, worried about, when those things actually happen, they don't even happen as bad as you thought they would. Sometimes it actually goes the other way and you ask yourself, why was I even worried? I'm sure that happens to me a lot. I don't know if it doesn't happen to you. So fear in your mind makes you constantly expect failure, and honestly, when you expect something, you're going to get it. I'm sure I've told you guys the story before of how I wrote an exam, and before the results even came out, I was already saying, I've already failed this exam because I had failed the exam 2 more times, so I was already expecting failure. I expected it, and guess what? The result came out, I failed. And somebody told me, result wasn't out and you were already expecting, how did you expect to pass? And that was when it clicked to me that, oh, this exam, there's no way I will pass it if my mind is not in the right place. Do you understand? So the truth is that fear in your mind is also another problem that limits you and shrinks you. And when it comes to creating wealth, you cannot actually receive more than what your mind believes. Okay, so I was in the theater one day and some doctors were talking and someone said, oh, that imagine that this man, he used 1 million to buy a phone. Do you understand that? And that person was like, oh, why would he waste that amount of money on a phone? And the surgeon said something. He said, how much is your phone? He said, my phone is 200,000. And I said that, do you know that to somebody in the village, they'll feel the same way you feel about this person that used 1 million to buy a phone? So it depends on the level you're in. So the truth is that that man cannot conceive using 1 million naira to buy a phone. So he doesn't understand that this person that spent 1 million naira is the same thing to that person, the 200,000 that he spent. So his limitations are already there. So if you cannot imagine getting 1 billion naira, there's no way you're going to get it. Even if you get it, you keep spending, squandering until you get to where your mind can carry. So I'll tell you something. When it comes to wealth, open your mind, because sometimes people sabotage their opportunities just because they think small. So even when somebody asks you how much is your product, you're afraid to price it because you feel like nobody will buy. And yet people are buying things that are more expensive. People are paying for that same thing, higher. But because your mind cannot, you can't wrap your mind around it, you start to undervalue yourself. You're even afraid of having a lot. You're afraid of abundance. You distrust successful people. You always give excuses and make excuses for people that are successful. You feel like, oh, either they cheated or that. The truth is that if you feel like that, you're not going to get there. You also feel uncomfortable when people are growing. Your mindset can actually reject what you prayed for. That's just the truth. So as you're praying for abundance, for prosperity, also make sure that you're aligning your mind so that you will be able to receive when it actually comes. Because even if you receive it and your mind is not in the right place, if you have 100,000 naira brain, if you get 1 million, you keep squandering the money until you get to 100,000, and then your brain now all of a sudden say, what did I do with this money? Because you're not equipped to handle that kind of money. Your mind has not aligned to get that kind of money, and most probably you probably not even get it. So belief is so strong, because if you believe you cannot do something, you often stop yourself before you even start doing that thing. But when your mind expands and you tell yourself, I can do all things, I believe that once I start something, once I set my mind on something, opportunities are going to start to show up that will help me to achieve that thing. I don't have to know the end. I just have to take one step at a time. Do you understand? Your life starts to expand and you start to see opportunities that you did not see. What feels impossible to you may be actually normal to someone else. Have you thought about it like that? There are people that, when you hear 1 billion, you shrink. But there are people that's the money they have. That's what they talk about. They can't even conceive in thousands because their mind has expanded that much that they believe they can, get that kind of money. So to you may not be able to, you can't get it because you're not thinking about it. So let's use an example of Gideon in the Bible. Gideon saw himself as weak and, insignificant, but God called him a mighty man of valor. So you may be seeing yourself as small, but you know that God sees you in a different light, just like Gideon. So before Gideon could actually win externally, his mindset had to change internally. So that's the only way he was able to conquer and, win the battle that was before him. And another example is when the Israelites left, Egypt. They had left there mentally, but they still had the slave mentality. They didn't believe that they were free yet. So they kept, grumbling. They were afraid. And because of that, they didn't get into the promised land. All the people that left. So because of their fear and limiting beliefs, they didn't enter the land. Now, sometimes your body may actually move, but your mind is still stuck in those beliefs that have been limiting you, that have not allowed you to blossom, to grow. So I want to beckon on you today. Renew your mind. If you want to change your life, you must change the way you think. Whenever negative thoughts come to your head, rephrase them in a way that, that is positive. For example, you see your account, you don't have money in your account. I hardly say I'm broke. Even if I have 2,000 in my account, I won't tell you I'm broke. I just carry along as if everything's okay. No, I'm not denying reality, but I just say, oh, the money is not available to me right now. It's not available to me, but I have the money, it's coming. Instead of me telling you I'm broke, because the truth is that the mind doesn't differentiate between, what is good and what is bad. So when you say something long enough, it becomes your reality. When you believe something long enough that things are difficult, everything starts to become difficult. So whenever things are going bad, what I do when I start saying, oh, I'm broke, I ask myself, what are you telling yourself? What have you been thinking about? What have you been dwelling on? Now, what are the conversations that are going on in my mind? What are my belief systems around this thing? Are they limiting me? What is your attitude towards yourself and your life? Now, the truth is that when you renew your mind consciously, it changes the direction of your life. That's drastically. So what you feed your mind matters, even from the music you listen to, from the people you listen to, from social media. Have you noticed that once you are depressed or you're sad, and then you just Google one thing on social media, it's as if they are in your brain. Only sad things start to come. They start to come. You keep scrolling, and then it just makes you more depressed and validates that bad feeling in your mind. That's the power of your mind. So you have to, to renew your mind, you have to consciously, realign things that are around you that influence you, like the conversations you have. When you're feeling sad, don't go and look for people that are sad like you. When you feel, don't go and look for people that will console you while you're down. That will you say, oh, for example, you have a problem with your husband. You go and look for people that have problems with their husband. Like, hey, men are stupid, men are this, husbands are this, blah blah blah, and you people are validating yourselves. When you're in that circle, you're always going to feel sad. You're going to feel bad. Then when you're sad, don't go and start listening to music that will add to your depression. Listen, find music that's going to uplift you, that's going to change the way you think about this situation. If you need to remove yourself from an environment, remove yourself from that environment and go to an uplifting one, where you see people that are doing better than you, people that talk better, people that have worked on themselves and are on their way, to greater things. Protect your mind carefully, because whatever gets in affects you seriously. Not every thoughts that you have deserves access to you. Learn how to, filter your thoughts and arrange them so that your life is easier. So let me give you an exercise. I want you to consciously audit your thoughts. For this 1 week, pay attention to the dominant thoughts in your head. Ask yourself, what do I do constantly? What do I constantly say about myself? What comes into my head all the time? Are my thoughts, helping me grow? What limitations and beliefs am I carrying around? It's important. Another thing I want you to do is to reprogram your mind. Whenever the thought comes to your head that, oh, you can't do this thing, tell yourself, I am growing into it. I will be able to do it. Just very soon, I am, getting to the point where I will do it. When your mind tells you, I'm not enough, tell yourself, I'm capable and I'm becoming better. That's an alternative to actually, you're not denying the fact, but you're putting it in a different way. So your mind starts to see it in that way. Another thing I want you to do is to feed your mind well this week. Fill your mind with books. I recommend this book, The Power of Positive Thinking by, is it Norman Vincent Peale or something? I can't remember the author's name, but that book really helped me when I was in a dark corner. All of us have those times when bad thoughts start to come to your mind and you're worried. So what I did, that exam I told you I failed, what I did to change my mind drastically was that I got that book, and anytime I wanted to read or study for the next exam, whenever those thoughts come to my mind and say, you're not intelligent, you cannot pass any exam, this, I got that book and I read a chapter, and that kind of renewed my mind. You understand? Another thing you can do is to deliberately seek out growth content on social media. Go online, find affirmations, find, Bible verses that supports a positive mind. Then I can't even, not emphasize prayer. Start to have positive conversations with yourself and with people around you. And like I said, find scriptures that support, what you want to do for yourself. It's very, very important. Your environment shapes your thinking. Please and please don't go and surround yourself with negative people that are just going to validate, how bad you feel about yourself. It's just going to destroy you and cause problems for you. Now, the truth is that you cannot glow externally when you have a defeated mindset internally. It's not possible. Peace, confidence, boldness, and joy all begin in your mind. If you can't think it, if you can't reason it, if you can't become it in your head, you can't become it in real life. So now let's say our affirmations together. My mind is renewed daily. I think positively and intentionally. I am capable of growth. I reject limiting beliefs. I walk in confidence. I am becoming better. I glow from within. So this week I implore you, pay attention to your thoughts. Challenge every limiting belief that you have and ask yourself, what mindset is stopping me from becoming more than I am now? Then begin to renew your mind intentionally. This is so key and so important. If you want to change your life, start by changing the conversations happening inside your mind. Win your mind and you will begin to win in life. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Sorry for the network glitches. I'll see you same time next week. I'm Dr. Chimsom Ogu, your skin and confidence doctor, and I help you glow from inside out. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.